Coming to you from an undisclosed location thousands of fathoms beneath the sea. This is the Deep Dive Podcast.
All ahead 1/3, up scope.
Battle stations.
Battle stations!
Hello, divers, and welcome to another episode of the Deep Dive Podcast, the only podcast guaranteed not to contain high levels of asbestos.
Ooh.
My name is Manda, co-host extraordinaire, famed beauty, lover of all things dinosaur, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Tom Feeney.
Hello.
And if you didn't know, he's a writer for Wang's Chop Movie Magazine, if you're so inclined, and let's face it, why wouldn't you be? Go ahead to Amazon.com and pick up a copy.
Thank you for that shameless plug.
Yeah, it was good, right? That was good.
Yeah, it was good.
No, thank you.
I like
Thank
it.
you. So, let's get into it. Last week, we did the body swap. Remember that?
We did. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, we have to be careful. We can't be doing experiments like that. Just not enough space. You know?
There really isn't. It just got weird.
Yeah, and then like water pressure and submersible, it doesn't go well. So I was thinking, since last week we shook things up.
Oh, we did.
We did. How about we let the directors shake things up for us?
Do you mean...
Do you know what I mean?
I think I do.
What do I mean?
I'm thinking chubby checker time.
Yeah. Plot twists.
The twist.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing plot twists.
Love it.
And if you're thinking, well, that's unexpected. Yes, actually, that's correct.
Which is in itself a twist.
Ooh, twist, twist, twist. Dun, dun, dun.
Now, you remember our deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I stuck to it. I hope you did too.
I did too.
Okay.
And the deal was no M. Night Shyamalan.
Nope.
We can't have that.
Nope. I'm still reeling from The Village because I'm angry about it.
I'm angry about everything like The Last Airbender and
Yeah.
After Earth and
Yeah.
Lady in the Water and...
Yeah, I expected that one to be a lot better than it was.
I mean, I did like Glass.
Yeah.
But-
yeah, okay. Yeah.
And Split was good.
I
but-
didn't watch that, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
he's coming back, but still with the twists, that's too obvious. You
Yeah,
don't wanna go
exactly.
there.
You expect it, yeah.
Exactly.
Which is sort of the opposite of unexpected.
Right. I believe that is literally correct.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Doing good.
Nicely done.
Thank you. So, yeah, it's going to be a good episode. Why don't you start us off this week?
Ooh.
Yeah.
For a twist.
Twist.
Very nice. So my first pick is a 1999 Japanese film called Audition.
Oh, no.
What, are you familiar with this
Oh,
movie?
no. This movie scared me.
Oh.
Okay.
So you are familiar with it.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm going to let
Okay.
you bring
There we
this to
go.
our audience.
All right, so so it begins in kind of a sweet romantic way. This middle-aged widower named Oyama is prodded by his teenage son to start dating again. Oyama's friend, who is a movie producer, has this wild idea. He suggests that he holds fake auditions to find a perfect match to become his new wife. Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, using the pretext of getting a film role is a weird form of Tinder. What could possibly go wrong? There are so many ways that wacky hijinks can ensue from this, right? All kinds of funny misunderstandings and,
Oh, yeah.
and quirky situations. I mean, really, it's like a romantic comedy just waiting to happen. I see Keanu and Sandra Bullock in this. Okay, but that's really not
No, that's
what
not at all.
happens here.
Plot twist.
Yeah. Oyama actually meets a lovely, sensitive woman named Asami, who's everything Oyama is looking for, and more. A lot more. See, someone is not quite who they appear to be, and things go badly. Very, very badly. Let me put it this way. If you are in any way squeamish about, let's say, needles, you probably don't want to be anywhere near this movie. And I'm sure you agree, Manda, seeing as how you are familiar with this.
Oh, my insides are they're cringing. Oh, like this isn't just a like plot twist movie. This is a very uncomfortable movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like super uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost worse than Battle Royale. Have you ever seen that?
That is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I have a Battle Royale poster.
Oh, kidding.
I have a T-shirt for Battle Royale. I have the original manga.
Oh, nice.
I've got the discs that I remember seeing. I've been a fan of this movie for a very long time.
I think the one scene that has stuck with me through all these years is the soup scene.
Oh.
Right? Exactly. And I think about that just randomly from now and then, like time to time, and I'm like,
Yep, yep.
oh my. But that's probably a good sign of a good movie if it sticks with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different ways a movie can stick with you. You know, almost like a bad clam.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but the film itself
Yeah.
is very well done. It's well acted, and it really is guaranteed to put you off food for a while. It was directed by legendary Japanese filmmaker Takahashi Miike. Now, he's directed some incredibly over-the-top movies like Visitor Q, Dead or Alive, Ichi the Killer, and more recently, Yakuza Apocalypse.
Okay.
Now, you can tell from that title that is also a romantic comedy. He's actually directed over 70 films in almost every genre, including family films, comedies, and things like that over the past 20 years. And he hasn't slowed down at all. He's still making movies. So, you know, like I said, no spoilers for this one. But this movie, I mean, doesn't even take a twist. It's like an MC Escher painting of a movie. It takes some seriously weird
Yeah, it does.
turns and has an offbeat ending as well.
Yeah, that's
So-
putting it lightly.
Yeah. So if you have a strong constitution, and you know, we do love our constitution. Yeah, I don't think that means the same thing.
No.
But check out Audition. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You may be nauseous, but I don't think you'll be disappointed. So that is my first pick. It is available, by the way, with a subscription on the streaming app Shudder.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And it is available to rent on Vudu, Amazon Prime Video, and iTunes for $2.99. So I think, you know, as far as these movies go, and honestly, like I said, we said this before, we have no idea before we start this what the other person has picked. Isn't
That's
that
kind
right?
of that's kind of the fun of it too, because
It is.
I'm not surprised at all that you picked that movie, but I wasn't expecting it.
Okay, see, there's a twist in itself. So it gets a 7.2 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database, and it actually 81%
Wow.
on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty incredible as far as I'm concerned.
I've lost all faith in you.
Did you have any in the first place?
Oh.
Let's just leave it at that, shall we?
Oh.
All right, so
All right.
that is my first pick.
All right.
What do you got for us, Amanda?
Well, nothing like that. I gotta tell you. I'm gonna go with probably one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is from 1996. And it's called My Fellow Americans.
Yes.
Oh man, I love this movie. It stars Jack Lemmon, James Garner, John Hurd, Lauren Bacall, Dan Aykroyd. Which, now that I'm thinking about that, almost all of them are dead.
Well, Dan Aykroyd's not dead.
Yeah, but he's all of those. Yeah. But anyways, you know, Jack Lemmon from like Grumpy Old Men.
Right.
Love
Oh,
that
such a
movie
great
too.
career.
Right. James Garner. I had a
Yep.
crush on James Garner when I was younger because my grandmother made me watch that movie Move Over Darling with Doris Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had
That's
a crush
while
on James.
ago.
Yeah, I had a crush on James Garner. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Me too. But that was during the Rockford Files.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little different. I got over it.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Oh, it'll be okay.
Okay.
Okay. But, you know, of course, John Hurd from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Lauren Bacall from, I think, what's that movie called? Murder on the Orient Express? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what she's from. And I didn't know that, of course, until, like, I was researching this. But she was, like, in so many movies.
Oh, yeah.
So many. Oh, my gosh. And she was in so many, like, beautiful black and white movies. Oh,
Classics.
so classic, yeah. Anyways, this movie is fantastic. It's hilarious from the get-go. Basic plot here. We've got two presidents who served consecutive terms. Because they served consecutive terms, you can kind of figure that maybe they weren't the best of friends. But in this case, they're just like really an old married couple. They just don't like each other. And they're always sort of like, you know, one-upping each other.
There was only one assassination attempt on me. You had 3.
2. The woman in Phoenix doesn't count. You only had a starter pistol.
Stop.
As ex-presidents,
Shoot to kill.
everybody's after them to run again.
Somebody wants us dead.
And again.
You think that was the tires?
And again.
I can't shake right now. Just blend in.
Jack Lemmon, James Garner, Dan Aykroyd.
What are you doing here? Are you coming out?
No, I'm not coming out. He is.
My Fellow Americans, rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
So their terms end, and they're sort of griping about it. And the current president, who's President Hayden, played by Dan Aykroyd, sorry, is like sending them on like presidential sort of tours. Like they have to go to state funerals. President Kramer has to go to like a Japanese phone company and represent the states by dancing with a giant panda bear.
Like you do.
Like you do. But inevitably it comes to they're going to get framed. Like they get framed for some massive plot that they think is sort of trying to cover up another conspiracy. And the movie takes a turn where you find out that it's kind of just like one conspiracy after another, and it's one mission to cover up one other mission, and it gets to be really deep and like really kind of suspenseful. But they're just cracking jokes the entire time. And, you know, President Matthews, James Garner, is kind of like a ladies' man. So he's like the older, wiser gentleman, always has a suave kind of like move. And then, of course, President Kramer, he's like the old cheapskate, tight-fisted, doesn't want to pay anything. I think there's one scene where they go into like a convenience store and someone wants to get a burger, and President Kramer's like, well, that's $5.99. I could get so many more things for that at some other place. And it just reminded me of my own grandparents, but it's hilarious. So I won't spoil it, of course, but the plot twist, I don't think that you're expecting it, because, you know, you get to know these characters pretty well throughout the film, and by the end, you think it's over. And honestly, it leaves you with that feeling with, oh man, I'm kind of sad that it's over. I want to see some more of that movie. And then, bam, plot twist, the directors give it to you, and you've got an extra like 10 minutes of movie. Oh, so good. But so basically, that's my first pick. IMDb gives it only a 6.5, which I think is totally unfair.
Oh, no.
Totally unfair, right? Rotten Tomatoes gives it an even worse, 47%.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I thought it was a charming movie. I saw it in the theater when it came out, and I thought it was very charming.
Right? I don't think was I alive? Yeah, I was alive, obviously. I was only like 10. Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on.
Metacritic also didn't give it pretty high, 49. I think that's totally unfair. So I'm giving it a 9.0 because it's hilarious. The cast is fantastic. I mean, it's really big name casts, and the comedy's on point. Now, of course, it's for the 90s, so it's going to be a little bit dated, but it still stands up because some of the issues that they were talking about are still pretty prevalent today.
Sure.
So yeah, man, I love that movie. I love that movie so much. So you can rent it for $2.99 on most platforms, which seems to be the common price for these things. Or you can buy it for $9.99 on most platforms. So,
excellent.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's a nice little movie. I mean, it's like a confection. You know, you enjoy it while you're watching it, and then you kind of, when you're done, you're done. But it really is, kind of a fond look at some really terrific actors who are no longer with us, and sort of, and I think it's not one of those where sometimes you see movies where you see an actor in their sort of declining years.
Sure.
And it's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
Not this one. This is actually really good. I thought it was very funny and very charming.
I know. It's one of those things where, were they trying to do like this comeback? Not really. I think they just wanted to get together and make a funny movie. And I think you get that sense when you're watching it because they're just a bunch of friends. But man, the comedic sort of presence of James Garner, I never would have expected. But pair that with Jack Lemmon, just too much.
Nice.
Too much.
Good pick.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that one. All right. So I'm going to bring it down again.
That's not a plot twist, though.
No.
We all expected that.
Yeah, I'm nothing if not predictable. So my second pick is the 1983 slasher movie, Sleepaway Camp. Oh, yes. So the early 1980s is fondly remembered, by me at least, as the heyday of the slasher pick. You had everything from Friday the 13th to April Fool's Day to Silent Night, Deadly Night. I mean, basically every holiday was a bloodbath back then.
Yeah.
But the success of Friday the 13th in particular brought with it many sort of killings at the summer camp movies, right? There were a lot of knockoffs. There was Camp Blood, Camp Blood 2, Cannibal Camp Out.
Okay.
And, of course, Meatballs 3. Yeah, pretty horrible. Out of all of these, though, my personal favorite is Sleepaway Camp.
Dear Mom and Dad, I've been at a sleepaway camp for almost 3 weeks. And I'm getting very scared.
Welcome to Sleepaway Camp. Someone is watching you.
Hey, Baba, Reba!
Someone is waiting for you. Someone wants to scare you to death. Sleepaway Camp. You won't be coming home.
This is a real kind of oddball of a movie. I mean, it does in some ways follow the formula of those kind of slasher movies, but there's just some really kind of weird stuff mixed in that you're not quite sure who's responsible for. So basically, it has that sort of setup where there's a tragedy that happens years earlier.
Sure. Yeah.
Where some sort of neglect or accident happens. This one happens on a lake near that same summer camp that they go back to.
Like Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those tropes that you see a lot. Oh, something traumatic in the past, and then in the present day there's all these killings that began.
Right.
So, in the movie, there's this painfully shy girl named Angela, and she and her cousin Ricky are sent to this camp, Camp Arawak, for the summer. Angela, she's always being bullied.
Right.
Not only is she being bullied by the other campers, but by the counselors as well.
That's the worst, because that stuff happens.
Yeah, it's awful. And you really feel bad for her. And, she gets taunted and everything, and her cousin tries to help, but it's not really any good. And then people start dying, as it happens in these kinds of movies.
Sure.
So there's going to be some slashings. There's going to be slashings. But here's the thing. It's not just slashings. No. There's death by arrow, death by bees. Little shout out. Death by pillow. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, it is kind of pretty standard horror fare for the 80s.
Sure.
But it wasn't just a hack 'em up. I mean, there were some other kinds of murders as well, which you want some variety in that kind of thing. It's like a blood buffet. It's really nice.
It wouldn't be tasteful otherwise.
Exactly. See, that's my point. Now, like I said, pretty standard stuff in a lot of ways. That is until the final reveal of the killer.
Uh-oh.
This is always the big moment. And if you watch any number of horror films, it's almost always a letdown. You're
Right,
like,
yeah.
Oh, it's that person? Okay, whatever. I guess I get it, but, And then, of course, probably the best one of those would be like Jason Voorhees, who you didn't know,
Sure.
was going to be the killer. So, but in this case, I will tell you, and I don't want to spoil anything here, but think The Crying Game.
Ooh, Neil Jordan directed that.
Yes, he did. So you'll get the gist of the ending of this movie. That's all I'm going to say.
That was a fantastic movie.
It was. It was. So Sleepaway Camp, in my humble opinion, is one of the better entries in this whole kind of early 80s slasher genre. I know that's not saying much. However, it does have some pretty imaginative moments, and that ending really is a jaw dropper.
Yeah.
And you don't see it coming.
Oh, man. That's exciting.
It is. And, that's what... And I'm not alone here because, all right, Sleepaway Camp actually gets a 6.3 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database and 81% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
So I'm not alone here in
can't
thinking
be real.
Sleepaway Camp is pretty awesome. So, and if you want to see this, you are in luck. Because right now it is available for free on Tubi.
Oh, I love Tubi.
And the Popcorn Flicks.
Yes, I downloaded that app too. Very good, very good.
Yeah, so it's on both of those streaming services. And if you, also it's free if you are a Amazon Prime Video subscriber or another kind of a new-ish app, well, at least for Apple TV. I know it's been on other platforms, but the Shout Factory TV.
Oh, I have heard of that, I think.
Yes, if you're a subscriber to Shout Factory TV, which is fantastic, by the way. That'll be for a future episode, but Shout Factory TV, they have some great content.
Yeah, hashtag sponsor.
So if you're a Shout TV subscriber, you get that as well. Sleepaway Camp.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's funny. I think a lot of these like 80s slasher films at camps must have spawned something for the 90s for younger generations. So, do you remember Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, and that sticks in my memory as being one of like the focal points of my youngish teenage years, you know. But of course, they're at like a campsite a lot of the time,
Right.
telling ghost stories because that's what you do.
That's where it comes from, I
right,
think.
exactly. Yeah, that's fantastic because I can totally see that being something that's completely relevant in any generation. Everybody goes to some kind of camp.
Right.
I went to like musical sports camp.
Right, yeah. I went to Unabomber camp. It was, couldn't
Yeah.
have my cell phone. It was
Must
terrible.
have been the bomb.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay. Let's go with my last pick. I'm doing a triple F. You know I like those.
I do. You like the Triple F?
Yeah, I do. I think family-friendly flicks are something that maybe gets a little neglected, so I want to represent them as best as I can because I, of course, am a large child.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then.
All right, so my pick, it is called Zootopia.
Zootopia.
Yeah, it's an animated
I've heard
film.
of that one.
It's an animated film from 2016, and it is so cute. It's adorable. It's got a cool voice cast, too. Jennifer Goodwin, who... Do you watch Once Upon a Time?
I watched the first couple of seasons, and then it just got too weird for me.
Yeah,
I was
unfortunately,
like, I can't do it anymore.
I was very disappointed after like the 5th or 6th season.
Wow.
But it is all on Netflix if you want to catch up. But she's from... she is the... one of the main protagonists. She's Bunny... the bunny, Judy Hopps. But anyways, we've also got Jason Bateman in an animated film, and Idris Elba from Thor, Bonnie Hunt, and Tommy Chong. Right? Okay, weird
right,
combination.
man.
Yeah, like, okay. No, I get it. So, all right, let's break it down. Picture our world, right, as it is, except every human is an animal that talks.
In the world of Zootopia, humans never happened, which makes Zootopia a modern, civilized world that is entirely animal. That is an animal. Animals in Zootopia are anthropomorphic. That is just a big fancy word that means they walk around on 2 feet. They do not go to work nude. Thank you.
Unfortunately, much like our world too, this world made of these anamorphical animals is divided into sort of sexed, or 2 separate sections. Unfortunately, it's predator and prey, right? So you've got cheetahs, lions, and tigers.
Oh my.
Bunnies and ferrets and all those nice little creatures. So, movie goes along, and really it's kind of about Judy Hopps. She wants to become a police officer, and as you can imagine, she's a little small, tiny thing.
Right.
She's a bunny, right? So she has to go through a lot of trials, and she has to prove herself, and she ends up sort of pairing up with this guy, Nick. He's a fox. Well, he's a con fox. He's a con man. Yeah. He voiced by Jason Bateman. And they kind of discover, like, there's some stuff going on in Zootopia that no one knows about, and it's up to them to bring it to their attention. So the movie goes along, you think you know exactly who's at fault for this, and I gotta give credit to the the directors, the producers, everybody. They made this movie just so classically, how would you say it? Like, they've got deeper meaning in it, but they've hidden it behind cute animation. Because it really speaks to the modern day troubles that we're facing as a nation. Gun on gun violence, police violence, brutality, all that fun stuff. But towards the end of the movie, you're like, wait a minute, this is not what I was expecting. So that's where the plot twist comes in, and I will not tell you about it, but I will give you a sneak peek on another plot twist. This movie, which is called Zootopia in the States, in other parts of the country, or excuse me, the world, it's called Zootropolis.
Zootropolis.
Yeah, right? Like, I'm a little bit disappointed. Like, okay, I get it, what you're playing off of, Metropolis, blah, 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 but Zootopia is so much funnier,
It is, and it also sounds like a fruity drink.
It does, right? I think it's also known, too, for only having, like, one music number, whereas opposed to, like, many other animated movies that have, well, every other scene is a music number. This one has kind of just one. Oh, and it's Shakira who does it. She's like a llama, or, I don't know. Oh, she's a gazelle. That's what she is. She's a gazelle.
Like Giselle Bundchen. No?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah. So, I thought it was cute. So I really love that movie, and it's not too long. IMDb, believe it or not, gives it an 8.0. It's pretty high up there.
Yeah, that is pretty high
right?
up there.
Prepare to be shocked. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 97%.
Wow.
Not even joking.
Wow.
Right? And thousands of votes, 97%. Metacritic gives it a 78. I'm giving it an 8.5. I thought it was hilarious. I love the jokes. Cast is fantastic. And of course, once you finish the movie, you recognize just like, I don't want to say political, but how important the message is to take away from it, especially if you're a young child and you can see these things playing out in front of you on TV, and maybe hopefully through this film it'll make a little more sense to them.
Yeah,
But yeah.
okay. So here's my thought. So in this animal universe, so would Star Wars be called Steer Wars?
I don't know if they figured out how to fly yet. So it might be Ground Wars, Ground Cow, Ground Beef.
Oh,
Ooh, I just did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the only character who's exactly the same as Chewbacca.
Yeah, sorry, C-3PO.
Oh.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Wait, he's not dead. What are you trying? Are you trying to upset me?
I'm sorry.
That's not cool.
Plot twist, I'm actually really mean.
I don't think anybody finds that to be a plot twist, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh, gosh. Well, anyways, we had some good picks, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah, right? I think it's come to that time in the show where we do our weekly shout-out.
Yeah. Who do
Yeah.
you got in mind there, Amanda?
Well, this week I want to say a big hello to Jay. He's a good friend of ours, good friend of the show.
Yeah.
He's actually helped with our intro music. So
That's right.
Thank you so much. Check out Echo Craft on iTunes.
Definitely.
And also Mason. He's been listening from the beginning. We really appreciate your support, Mason.
Thank you, Mason.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
And we love all of our listeners.
Yeah, we do.
We
Yeah.
really do. We love you. Well, that got, see that? There's another twist.
This is
'cause
going to
it
have
got
an
kinda
explicit title.
creepy.
Yeah.
No, we're not being explicit.
No.
No, we'll save that for our special adult film show.
Oh, God.
No, not
No,
we're not
no,
doing
no.
that yet. Oh my goodness. So we do really like to thank everybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially our loyal listeners. If you've been listening for a little bit and you like it, please, we urge you to subscribe if you would like. We would really appreciate that
Absolutely.
if you did.
Yep.
So thank you all again. And I think that's going to wrap it up
Totally.
for this episode. And I think next time, our next dive, I think we've got something that's pretty buzzworthy.
It's actually unbelievable.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, man. Okay, so, yeah, we're doing B movies.
Yeah,
and
we
not
are.
movies that are, like, low budget or independent. We're talking movies about
Bees.
bees.
Yeah.
Right. So, and we're not talking, like, movies that have Sting in it.
Oh, man.
Or not spelling bees. We're not going there.
Sorry, Akila.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're doing actual bees.
Bzz.
Yeah. Yeah, we will have buzzers and everything. It's going to be great. So stay tuned
Absolutely.
to this podcast. Stay tuned for a new episode of Steroid to Heaven, the heartwarming trials and tribulations of a former weightlifter who found Jesus after his deltoids explode.
Oh.
So yeah, tune in. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun. So on behalf of the marvelous Mrs. Manda and myself, we bid you farewell until next time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3,
2,
2, 1. And
Plot
transmission.
Plot twist.
I see dead podcasts. Special thanks to Spirits of the Symphonic and EchoCraft for our amazing theme music. Links to both artists can be found on our website, thedeepdivepodcast.podbean.com. If you like us, you can subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Overcast, or wherever fine podcasts are found. The Deep Dive Podcast is a production of Automaton Media.